Okay, great. Let's get started. Well, thank you all for coming tonight to Headaches Heal. I have a full screen now, so I don't know if I'll be able to see the chat. Let me do something about that. Chat. Okay, good. Chat is working. Great. Okay, so many of you tonight are here because you've already tried everything else that you can think of for migraines or your headaches. Or maybe some of you just want to learn about this method because it's getting quite popular, and it's just something that's unconventional and yet very, very powerful. So the reason most people don't have success with migraines, with medications or other physical stimulus is because it's a body-mind relationship. It's a body-mind relationship, and it's the things that have happened to our bodies, our minds, and our emotions that are causing these migraines to stay on alert, like the alarm that they are. Okay, so with great fortune and great luck and great study, I've developed the method to clear this pattern that causes these problems. And it's a recent development within the last year. I'll give you the backstory a little bit later on it. But if you're looking for a solution, I may be able to offer that to you. And the best part is that you're going to know that it works within the first session. Right. So when you've tried many things and have gone home half happy or maybe not happy, this is something where by the time you leave the first session over Zoom with me, you're aware that you're doing much better. And it brings back that place of hope. It lets you know that you're going to get well again. So before we begin, this is what I've found is really the biggest obstacles to anyone not doing this work, right? Because it's not something that this method, the Headaches Heal method, is not something that just happens to you. You are a participant. It's a very simple way to participate. All you have to do is be on the call and close your eyes. And I do most of the work, and then there's homework. Okay, so before we begin, is there anyone here who doesn't believe that there's a connection between the body and mind, or that there's a mind-body connection? And if you think there's not, just write it in the chat, write no, just write no so we can talk about it for a moment because it's important. Does anyone think there's not a mind-body connection? And it's an important question because that's what we're working with. Okay, so here's an example for anyone who's unclear what that might be. If you got lost while you're driving, maybe you get frustrated about that, and then you feel confused, and then you get jittery, and maybe you get upset, and then maybe because of all of this, you run a red light and you get a ticket. So you can see how your mind, your nervousness, the mistakes that you might have made because of your nervousness caused you to run a red light, and it influenced your body to do things that you wouldn't have normally done. You hit the gas instead of the brakes, right? So there's something with the mind and body, and that's a negative result. Okay, so it can go the other way too. It can go the other way where you stub your toe or part of your body, like your toe, right? And you scream, and then your husband or your wife or your partner, they ask you if you're okay. And what happens? You suddenly feel mad at them when they ask, right? It's happened to all of us at some point. Your body influenced your mind, right? You hurt your body and suddenly you're in a bad mood. There's always a body and mind connection. Okay, so you can often tell when someone's mad by looking at them. Sometimes they're only annoyed. I hear somebody's mic. I don't know who it is. Whoever it is, can you mute that? Let me see if there's a way for me to mute everyone. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, let me go back there. Okay, so you can tell when someone's mad by looking at them. Sometimes they're only annoyed and they're not mad, but an expert in body language will notice that the way they hold their neck, will notice the tension in their voice, and they'll know that the person's annoyed, even though you may not notice. You'll notice that they're angry because their jaw will show it, their face will show it. So the average person won't know if somebody's just annoyed. That skill set of being able to notice subtle changes in the body and the mind to connection, it's part of the Headaches Heal method. So why is it important? Well, the Headaches Heal method works almost every time with every person in the first session. It's very important for me to have success with you in the first session so you and I both know that you're already experiencing changes, right? Because when you leave the first session, I need you to feel good about the results because I can feel the changes that are happening for you and I can help you with those changes, but I need to do enough work so you leave knowing that your headache of 10 went down to a 5 or even lower. I need you to know that so well that you're excited to come back because with the pattern and the process, we get to clear the pattern completely. And when we do that, you're a new person. And really, there's not many things that give me more happiness than seeing that. So why do you need to know this? Because you're not going to understand how it works. And some people really want to know. And that's a big problem because if you have migraines, you don't know how you got them. But many people want to know what I'm doing to help them get better. And you're not going to know that in the first session. There's just no way because it's taken me so many years to develop a lifetime of work. And if you need to know what I am doing to get you well, then I can't work with you because I can't explain it to you. And you're going to feel unsatisfied that why do I feel better if I don't know why I feel better? So I want to make that really clear. Yes, and Zita, I will get into that. I'll answer all the questions in just a little bit. So do you need to understand why you're getting better? Some people feel like if they don't know how it works, they don't believe it can work, so they can't get the benefits. Now, they don't need to believe in it or even know how it works for it to work. They just need to work with me. Do you need to know how a broken bone mends itself? Or is it okay for it to happen because your spirit, your life force, and your DNA know how to heal you? Okay, so we can't explain dreams, miracles, nightmares, or flashes of insight. You can have an understanding of all these topics if you study them. You can understand how my method works the same way, but only a specialist can explain it to you. And like advanced physics, you may not understand it, but you can accept that your broken bones know how to heal, even if you don't know why. So, brief introduction. This is what we're going to be going over, which we are going over already. So if you have any questions, like Zita just did, please type them in capital letters so they stand out in the chat. And that'll help me grab my eyes on them. And I'll answer all the questions towards the end. But please just add them. Okay. So I've discovered, my name is Dr. William Kalatsky. I've discovered and developed a method that has many benefits for mind and body health. One of the greatest benefits is the relief and actual healing of migraines and other kinds of headaches. The mind's patterns create the constriction leading to migraines and other headaches. The method is simple, but it took a lifetime of training to develop. And the method and wellness program focuses on clearing patterns in your mind and body connection. When the patterns change, you change. When these stress patterns clear, you get well every time. Okay, so write this down in the chat, please. Just a yes or a no is simple for the first question. Do you think you can heal from your migraines or your other chronic headache conditions? Just write that down. And somebody who just spoke, please mute yourself. Michelle says yes. Yeah, Ellie says yes. Nahama says yes. Okay, these are good answers. These are people that I've worked on. So let's see. Good. So we have a number of yeses, and thing is, you can heal, but you're here to either learn about it so you can do it for others, or you're here to learn about it for yourself. So you can heal, but you haven't yet. And healing's a process, as we know. The great thing about this work is as you're healing, you're actually aware that you're healing. So this is one of these amazing things. Like we know there's a way, but we haven't been shown the way. And that's what's so beautiful about this method. It's right here in front of our faces. So how has having migraines affected your life? If you could just write a sentence in the chat, just how has it affected you? What has it restricted for you? Maybe it's even helped you in some way, getting you to look at life as more valuable, something to cherish, and debilitating. Yeah. I know it's debilitating. Anyone else? Let's see. Life stealer. Yeah, that's right, Ellie. Joy. I can't do the things that I want or need to do. My migraine shut down my ability to function all day. Yeah. Okay. And I see a number of people have Matthew's name for some reason. Well, nevertheless, that's right. I mean, the people that I've worked with migraines, I've watched people with migraines anywhere from 40 years up to 5 days a week affecting their lives, their work, their families. And then I've seen people with migraines for 3 days out of the month. And the math showed that's 10% of the year that they're locked in bed. And then there are people here, even on this call, that might have had until now, and I say it like that because we've started working together, migraines half a month where they're in bed in the dark. So it's debilitating, and it hasn't been addressed. The reasons for them have not been addressed until now. And I only know that because I found out what to address to help them. Okay, how many days a month are you affected? Will you write that in the chat? Anyone? Anyone? How many days a month? Let's see. No, what happens is it's not the same person logged in, but it's that a link was sent out. That was one person's link, and somehow it does that. Let's see, twice a month, every day, Joy. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna hope to get to speak to you after this call. Let's say every few days. Yeah. Hormonal. Yes, and I'll cover the hormonal because everything stems from somewhere, and everything stems from before the physical. So even if it's hormonal, if it's, some people say it's from lights, it's chocolate, it's loud noises, it's hormonal, all of those things are the cup's already full, right? And when the cup's already full, it only takes a few more drops to overflow the cup. So the hormones may be a new stressor, but when we empty the cup, suddenly the hormones they're just putting a few drops in an empty cup. There's no overflow. The alert and the alarm system has shut off. I know of people almost every day. Okay, got it. So, okay. And you don't have to put this one in the chat, but I just wanted to answer to yourself, how often are you worried it could come at any time? Because I've spoken to so many people that have PTSD with migraines. They don't know if they can schedule a day. They can't schedule a vacation. They don't know if they're going to ruin their family's vacation. Sometimes they do. Yeah, that worry is there for a lot of people. Thank you, Ellie. Okay, so what would your 90-day goal be if there was a program to help you get real relief and even heal from the migraines? And, that's something you can write or not write, but imagine there was something you could do for 90 days, not every day in the 90 days, but a program that doesn't get better in 90 days, but gets better just in the first few sessions and then progressively even better over the next couple months. That's what we're going to be talking about here. So everything starts in the mind or the field of consciousness, and we may not even know it. Okay, we have patterns running in our subconscious. These patterns cause us to do many things that aren't good for us, right? And we think we're in control of our lives, but we're not. I mean, to some extent we are, right? We can choose what time we're going to go to bed, what time we wake up with an alarm. But what about overeating when we don't want to overeat? It doesn't make sense that we want to drop weight, but we're eating. Why am I eating this junk food if I want to lose weight? Well, the reason is because we have a pattern running in our subconscious that's saying do it anyway. And it's up to us to stand up and say, no, I'm stronger than this inner voice that's saying to me to eat. That's not my voice. That's ego. That's a program that I once had there that made me feel safe and secure. But right now, that program is hurting me. Okay, so procrastinating, not exercising, not getting enough sleep, eating too much sugar, all of the things that we know that we do that we can choose not to do, but they're not good for us. And it's all because there's a little pattern, like a hypnotic pattern, that says, just do it. So we do it. Okay. The body reacts to these subconscious programs that are not good for us. What does it do? It raises your blood pressure. It makes you eat mindlessly when you're feeling down. It makes you want to give up when you have to get things done. It brings migraines, right? The same programs that lead to your migraines. Exactly. And these programs, well, where does it begin? We'll go there. It's related to trauma. There are two kinds of trauma we're going to talk about. One is the trauma where somebody got bitten by a dog as a child, and now they're afraid of dogs their whole life. Now, for someone who hasn't been bitten by a dog, it doesn't make a lot of sense that this person is afraid of dogs because of one moment in time. But that pattern got locked in, and that pattern can change if they ever wanted it to, right? If they ever went for help. The other kind of trauma is the prolonged trauma. maybe a job you hated for so many weeks, months, years, but you went again and again because you thought you had to, because you knew you had to. And it created so much inner tension in your system. You wanted to explode and you held it in. And suddenly, you pop the cork. Suddenly, the mercury rose to the top, and there's this symptom of a migraine. So we've all experienced traumas. They sit with us like a memory. We may not know it. We may not even remember it, right? There's a trauma that happened to you at 8 years old that today you don't think was a trauma because you've muted it. It's not important anymore. You've got a life to live, so you don't think about it. But at 8 years old, it was scary. At 8 years old, it affected you. At 8 years old, you cried or you thought life was ending. And that sits with us as a memory. Okay, so it could be shouted out by a parent or teacher, be told you're not good enough, be rejected in some way. Emotional trauma shock our nervous system. Okay, and then there's the physical, emotional, chemical. You're not born with migraines. Something happens to create the tension or the constriction that causes them. And we don't know what that is most of the time. So here's how the method works. Using this method, we quickly help you release the patterns in your mind-body connection that trigger the constriction that leads to the migraines or other headaches. During the session, the pattern clears, and so does the migraine. It can take anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. It gets faster with each session, right? So your migraine is protecting you, and you're not aware of it. It's that alarm system alerting you to something. I'm not listening to my biorhythms. I'm not listening to my body. When you get well, healing, the process of healing and getting well means listening to your body. So if I have a gluten allergy, which I do, I know not to eat gluten. I can eat gluten. I'm not going to feel well. So in a sense, I'm healed because I know what not to do to be healthy, right? I know I need to sleep a certain amount of hours a night. If I sleep less than that, I'm not going to feel as good. So it's my choice of how I want to behave. What we do is clear that pattern. Migraines are gone. And then you know exactly what to do or not to do to bring them back. And that's the beauty of it, because now you're taking charge of your life. You're getting your rhythm back. You're saying, oh, this is what I need to be healthy. Okay. So in actuality, this is a big surprise, a big secret. This isn't even a headache treatment protocol at all. Okay. It's a wellness approach. It's a program. It's a method that gets you well in every session. But the reason you get well is because we're addressing the patterns that create the constrictions that then squeeze you and affect you and cause the grippingness of the migraines. When we erase those patterns, it's gone. That's it. It's just gone from there. So we're freeing the mental and emotional patterns that can give rise to the tension and the constrictions in your body and mind. It's very exciting. Okay, so the 90-day goal is to create long-lasting change that removes the ability for physical symptoms to take hold. I like to look at it like this. It gets a little bit metaphorical, but an airplane needs to land, but there's no landing strip, no runway. It can't land. Your migraine is due to patterns and constrictions that you basically bring in with your experiences in your life. When we clear those, there's no longer a place for that migraine to take grip of, and it goes. And I can explain this in a lot of ways, but the experience is what it's really about, because it just sounds metaphorical when really it's factual, and all you have to do is have the experience to know that it's helping you. Okay, so this provides relief from pain that debilitates you while improving your overall well-being and quality of life. For most people, it's very noticeable in the first session and transformational after the first 4 sessions. So here's some testimonials. These are going to be fun. Some of the testimonials are actually people that are on the call. Become my next client to say goodbye to migraines and other chronic headaches.
My name is Andrew. I'm a physical therapist down in South Florida, and I work in a spine specialty. I got in contact with Will. I get these stress headaches whenever I'm in certain circumstances, and I figured I'd give it a shot to see if it could help me. It only took about 3-4 minutes. He was able to help.
Oh, sorry about that.
My name is Andrew. I'm a physical therapist down in South Florida, and I work in a spine specialty. I got in contact with Will. I get these stress headaches whenever I'm in certain circumstances, and I figured I'd give it a shot to see if it could help me. It only took about 3-4 minutes. He was able to help me find a steady state of mind, and he was even able to clear it here in the moment. So you guys are definitely going to enjoy this, and just be open-minded to it.
Okay, so Andrew's a PT. I mean, for a guy, he's very tuned in to himself, and literally it took about 4 minutes. That's fast, to clear the headache pattern, and with it, the headache goes.
And just to back it up, you're coming from 18 years of severe
migraines that would not let up, and I've tried so many things. Okay, I like to be consistent. I like to be proactive. You know, I'm a trooper that way, and you know, things gave me momentary relief, or deal with one thing for a while, another thing, but nothing really brought me to a place like I am now, where I am sitting with today. So I'm really grateful for this work, and I think you know, I think people have to come to a certain point in their life for them to reach this moment.
Mm.
I was even more astounded by the fact that, you know, the following day, I was feeling so much better that I didn't need to take recovery time. And I had more clarity in my life than I've had probably in several years. So that was really special to me.
Tell me about your experience. We worked together now for a few days. Where have you come from, and how are you feeling now?
Well, I was feeling awful. I felt like this was going to be an entire week taken off my life plus recovery time. And I was more than pleasantly surprised when we were working together, the layers that were coming off, the clarity that was coming in, the also your professionalism, like, you know, the way you work is it's really astounding. It's really special. You're really there for the person. I really felt so cared for. You know, after we worked through so many layers and levels of the pain and everything that was in my field to reach this healing. So I'm grateful for the journey.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, because you had said you really didn't know where else to go. You've tried everything, and
Everything. I ran out of space to type. Later on I realized there was more.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's going to help. I hope it helps a lot of people to decide to try this method, and hopefully a lot more people that will want to learn it too. So, well, yeah, thank you.
Okay, there's just a couple more, and that's Yaeli, who's right there.
My headache is on the right side today. It's usually on the left. Okay, this is amazing. So I feel like it's kind of gone, but almost like something moved in there a little bit, tried to go to the other side and didn't make it.
Okay.
I feel better. I feel a little better.
Okay,
I have
stay
to
with
say, I'm better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange. I mean, oh my God. It's almost like you kind of just pulled out. I don't know how to explain. That's how I felt or something.
No, I think it's great. Thank you for telling me.
So we've got a couple more. And if you have any thoughts or questions, let's see, I always have on the right side of my head. So strange. Yeah. People get them different.
Just amazing to me that we can do that. And I mean, I've had this for so long, you know, brain trauma, head trauma, bruised brain when I was 3 years old, that I've not known my life without it. So I think what you're giving, you know, this is a beautiful gift that you've been given, that you're giving to the world. So thank you for sharing it with people.
And it goes on. We're
We
almost
got on
done.
the call, and your headache was an 8 out of 10 on the right, and about a 4 on the it wasn't even on the left yet. It moved to the left. But tell me a little bit about your experience after drinking and having a headache from a hangover, and how this went for you.
Okay, yeah, surprisingly, I felt like something relieved my pain, but in a way of refreshing, like clearing mine. And in the meantime, I feel like a deep, deep meditation, like
Okay.
a long, deep meditation.
Okay, but the call really took about 13 minutes. So how do you feel now to have your day after going out and having, I guess, about 8 drinks last night? Like normally you'd probably not be feeling great.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, I feel like ready for the day for, I don't know, my normal basis activities.
Good.
Yeah.
And in terms of the like you said, the freshness, the clarity in your mind, in your head, what does it feel like for you? Like a good night's sleep, something like that?
Yeah, like I don't know, like 10 hours of sleep extra.
Okay. Fantastic. So this was a good experience for you. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. If you have any questions, let me know.
So this week I did a short test run because I was asked if I could help people that have headaches related to too much drinking. And I was asked that by a company here in Miami to see if I might be interested in working with them. And I didn't know. So I ran some tests and it was very fast. I mean, 15 minutes because it's not a pattern. Migraines are a pattern, so they could take 30 minutes or 60 minutes. But this was something that was very interesting to discover.
Okay.
And we have one more here, the last
Good
one.
for you.
Let me start that over.
Holy, oh, wow.
Oh, good for you.
Holy cow. I didn't even like know it was that bad. It's better now. Wow, it feels like this whole area has like opened up.
Welcome. Yes. Oh my gosh. Wait till you get outside and start to move. You're going to see the whole world looks different.
Wow. Well, and I've always been like a writer, a singer, very creative. I'm a visionary. I've been able to see visions. And like the last like 7 or 8 months, there was something like wrong. You know, I like couldn't, was having problems accessing it.
Yeah. No, you won't. No, you won't. That's amazing. I'm really happy for you.
Oh, holy cow.
So this was just one short, quick session, and this woman had amazing changes going from if you saw the full footage, going from a 9 or 9 in one area and a 7 in another area, and all of these different areas where she had such a bad headache, and suddenly you can see her face is sort of like in awe and just ready for life. Okay, so here's this conclusion. Here we go. What if I guaranteed you that in the first session you felt dramatically better? You'll feel so much better that now you'll know there's a way for you to heal. I mean, you know already there's a way, you just maybe didn't know the options. Okay. At this point, you've had enough suffering. Okay. And you've tried everything that you know of. How many days do you lose in your life every month? I mean, what do you miss out on with your family? How much money do you lose because you can't work? I know these are all the things that happen to people with severe migraines because I work with them all the time. Okay. These are the harsh realities, but they're really real for anyone who has migraines. It can be a day out of the month, or it can be half a month. If it took 1 year of committing to programs to get better, would you do it so you could have your life back? If you knew in 1 year you'd be better? Okay, because it's not even a year. It's not even 6 months. It's a 90-day program, but you'll know in the first 2 weeks how much better you are. As a matter of fact, you'll know in usually the first visit, the first session, how much better you are. But after a period of 10 days or so, it's usually when people sometimes stop getting back to me for a week or two because they think they're better. And they are better, but the patterns aren't cleared yet. And that's why we need to go for a little bit longer than that. And that's why it goes for months. Okay, so you have a choice because this method can help you. How much does it mean to you to enjoy spending your time with your family without struggling with your headaches, your migraines, your dizziness, your vertigo, your nausea? Okay. And what does your future look like right now if you don't change it? Where are you next year? Where are you the year after? Where are you in 10 years from now if this problem doesn't go away? It's important to think about because it's not changing if you don't find a way to change it. Okay. What would your life be like, though, if they were gone? What if they were gone tomorrow? What if they were gone this week? Just think about that for a minute. What if they were suddenly gone? The prison, you're out of prison. Okay, if you're here on your free time, then this problem is important to you, right? You'd be somewhere else if this wasn't an issue. Okay, so I'm offering to help you, and because I help over 90% of people who I've worked with in the first session, I make it my responsibility to help you heal if you want it. And if you talk to anybody that I work with, you'll find out I make myself available. There are rules, there are programs, there are times we do the work, but I make myself available because I want you to get better, because I want you to smile and say, oh my God, there's more to life than I knew. There's another way to heal that I wasn't aware of. Okay, so I do research every day to make this method work faster and more efficiently so I can see larger groups at the same time, right? Because I do privates and then I do groups. And in groups, I can, there's a limitation. I'm learning to work on more people at once. Right now, I can do about 10 people at the same time. And it's fun. The groups are fun because you get to see other people getting well right on the screen with you. So I'm beginning to teach the method next month due to the demand. My Headaches Heal method was just accepted and is now being recommended by the master class in Childbirth app by the hospitals in the United Kingdom, in England. And this app is given out to over 100,000 pregnant women and new moms and their doulas and midwives, so they can contact me to get help without medications, or if they're taking medications, the medications aren't helping. And of course, many people believe that pregnant women should be on as few meds as possible. So just imagine, there's already a medical authority that is saying, oh, this is something that is natural and works. And I am waiting for that to happen in the US as well, but for some reason, the UK is a little bit more, I'll call it advanced in their thinking about how healing can happen. So really ask yourself, let me look at that picture. What if I could get better? What if I could really get better? What if I can get so much better in 1 month that I can live my life again? Because that's what happens in 1 month. Even though it's a 3-month program, you're not saying, oh, it's 2 months and 28 days. Once I get to the finish line, I'm better. No, you're really dramatically better way before then, right? And again, I have to say it like this, in over 90% of the people. I don't want to say it's 100% because I just can't. Are you willing to take less time than you would spend in bed this month to heal yourself? Right? You know how much time you spend in bed, in the dark, in the quiet. If you took those hours of time and put it into doing the work to heal yourself with this method, you'd be better. Okay, so how much time do you lose suffering from migraines? You could put that time towards your healing. So here's my offer and here's my promise. With this method, I can clear your headaches at any time. Each time I do it, it gets faster for over 90% of you. The method works. I've proven it over and over again. Some people only use it as a way to get rid of a headache when they want to have a productive or fun day, a business meeting, a day out. They start with the headache, we clear the headache. It's not my goal. It's not how I like to do it. I'll do it, but it's not the way I want to do it because I want to clear the pattern so you get well. So my goal is to use a method to help people heal and get free from the prison that these migraines and other chronic headaches create for them. Okay, so I know some people who have spent a lot of money, more than $25,000 to get well and heal their migraines, and they're still looking for answers. I'm not one of them. I know people who pay over $1,000 a month to treat their migraines, but they never heal, and the treatments are never really that effective. They're like emergency shots for things that they need when they feel it starting. Okay, I offer a number of different programs to make this affordable for everyone. Why? If you don't try my method and you suffer from migraines or headaches, then I'm doing you a big disservice. If I don't find a way to motivate you to try it, it's really on me. It's on you ultimately, but it's on me because I have a gift to be able to share with you. And if you don't try it just once, you'll never know. And then, you just continue the path you're on already. So this is the elite program. It's for some people, it's sticker shock. It's definitely not for everyone. My elite programs are private sessions for one person at a time. You can imagine I'm the only one doing this right now, so there's not a lot of time in the day. You get me for up to 12 sessions a month, and you can join in the group programs as well. And it's on the hours that work best for you. It's $49.97. That's almost $5,000 for the month. And it's a popular program because there are certain people that just, that's what they want. They want their privacy and they want it on their own busy schedule. It includes one-on-one coaching on how to clear the patterns on your own in between sessions to speed up your progress. It's the most popular because it's one-on-one. And if you buy 2 months at once, the second month is $1,000 less and the third is even less. Each month you need less sessions as you improve. And in the next 24 hours, if the elite program is for you, you're the first to know that we're going to be activating massive coupon discounts. Okay, and the private session is going to be $1,000 off. So it's only $39.97 for the private sessions. Okay, I know the private program can be expensive for many people, but there's a huge benefit and savings for the group sessions. More people can be helped at the same time. Group healing is very powerful. Seeing how fast others heal reinforces to your conscious and subconscious mind that you can heal even faster. And it's really kind of a treat when you feel your headache's better and you see all the other people on the screen saying the same thing. And it's sort of like creates this little magical experience. So my group programs, normally packages of 20 sessions, and 10 are used every month, at least, are $150 a session. So that comes to $29.97. Packages of 10 sessions used in 1 month are priced at $200 a session. So it's $19.97 or essentially $2,000 a month, 200 a session or $150 a session. But for the next 24 hours, because you're on this webinar and you say, first of all, you're here and you're becoming educated and it saves me a lot of time having to explain what we're doing. For the next 24 hours, the 22nd session package is going to be $19.97 instead of $29.97. So you're saving $1,000. It means you're basically paying $100 a session, and the 10 session package is $500 off, right? So it's $14.97 instead of $19.97. And I'm having my web expert create one more package, which will be 30 sessions. So it runs the whole program, and that's going to be it's going to be, because of this webinar, also $100 a session. So that'll be $3,000, and it covers, you know, from A to Z. Okay, everyone starts with a 1-hour private session. It's a requirement. Then I get to learn everything I need to learn, and I get to see how much effort it takes to actually clear the pattern that you're holding on to. It's normally $497 for that first session. I make it a high price because I don't want people coming for single sessions. For the summer, it's been reduced to $347, and for this webinar, we're bringing that down to $247 for the first session. So for the next 24 hours, it's a huge break, and we really get to cover a lot during that hour. Okay. I recommend, though, that when you get the individual session, you also book the package that you want, so you get the discount on both during the 24-hour discount period. And I know that might sound like a lot for some of you, but why do I say it? There's 100% refund available after the first session. So what does that mean? I want you to feel completely secure and comfortable when you choose to try this. I'm offering you 100% money-back guarantee if you don't experience a significant change during your first session. That means if you buy the first session and a package, you get everything back, not just the first session. I want you to have the experience and know that it works. I don't want to work with you if it doesn't help you or if you don't want it. I want us to both be successful. Why would I do it? I don't like to see people suffer. I want everyone to be healthy and happy. And if you have migraines or other headaches, I want you to see, I want to see you smiling again. I want you to say thank you. I mean, you know, I want gratitude is a beautiful experience to give and to receive. And knowing I help people is a very powerful, beautiful experience for me as an empath. And you'll spread the word. You'll tell others about it. You know, there's at least one person on this Zoom right now who has, you know, put it in all kinds of groups. And, you know, there's a handful of people here just because one person had changes so quickly. So getting the word out is really, you know, for me, a big deal, because it means that I'm helping you, and then you get to help others. So I want you to get well. I want you to live a happy life instead of suffering. So I offer the guarantee, so you try it. And the good news is I've never had to give anyone their money back, and I'll do it happily, but I've never had to do it. And that's good news. So I know for many, it's a lot of money, and for some, it's very reasonable. And this is for those who think that if they got all the lost time back and value, all that you could do with that freedom, then you know your health is #1 priority. Right? If you want to get well, I want to help you. So you can go to headachesheal.com/offers, and you can sign up for the free 15-minute consultation, which I would love for you to do. You can buy your packages, whichever ones you want. The discounts expire in 24 hours or when the sessions are full, whichever comes first. And we tend to get busy after we do a free webinar. So thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna stop the screen share now and answer any questions. You can raise your hand. You can set up the consultation. If you have any questions, I'm going to be here. I'm going to go through the chat again and answer them all. And again, thank you so much for coming to this webinar. Okay, and let me just look through these questions really quickly. I see, can headaches also be caused by organ malfunction? Yes, I mean, anything can be caused by anything in the body, right? You can get a headache from loud music, you can get a headache from, it doesn't, anything can relate to anything else. The whole body it's a system, it's an ecology. Just like if you pollute the water, you know, the trees can die. We're all connected. So in clearing the restrictions and the constrictions, patterns change. So for me, I've seen people with headaches due to car accidents. You know, a young girl, 14 years old, headaches due to car accidents. That was about 2 years earlier. And, you know, she had a concussion. So the doctor said, well, it's just, you know, it's just side effect. Somebody else had cervical spine surgery, headaches every day for 18 months, migraines related to surgery. At this time, I was doing my trials and I didn't know if I'd be able to help, but I worked with anyone that had a severe case, and she got well very quickly, 2 sessions. And, you know, that was it for her. There's, you know, a 9-year-old girl whose mother called me, and she had an ongoing headache, chronic due to allergies. Ends up it wasn't due to allergies. We cleared the patterns in her system. She actually, and then her body started leaking fluid, and, you know, through the eye. She went to the doctor, ended up she had an infection that had already got to the bone in the skull. And so in clearing the blockages and the patterns of this, in her case, the physical trauma that she's holding on to, she was able to find out the real problem. And, you know, she went to the hospital, got an IV drip for a weekend, and then she was fine and headaches gone. So these are a few of the things that have come up. When it comes to hormones, same thing. All of these are patterns that we're already, the cup is too full. We're overwhelmed already, and then something else comes in and overflows the cup. And this work clears the cup. It empties the cup. So that way, suddenly you've got, let's call it 50 drops or 30 days of plenty of room to mess up as much as you want to. And at day 29, that's usually when you're going to say, oh, I better call William and clear this pattern again. But if you're doing the right things, if you clear the patterns, it doesn't come back because you already know yourself, you know your rhythms, you know what you need to do. And that's really what it's about, is starting to listen again. There was somebody, they're not on the call right now, that I was working with, who was probably one of my fastest cases of getting well. And one day they called me and said, I feel it coming back. And they said, you know what it is? I put in a long day at work. I said yes to too many things that I didn't want to say yes to. And they now are sensitive enough to feel it starting as they're doing things that they feel is too much for themselves. You know, being there for too many people when they need to be there for themselves. So we learn these things, but these are patterns that are hidden in the field, in the body-mind connection. And the migraines are not going away if we don't clear these things. And thank God we don't have to do years of therapy to clear these things, because we don't even know what we're supposed to clear. When we clear these patterns, suddenly it's just gone. And you feel lighter, and you don't need to know why you feel lighter, because the patterns are cleared. So I'm going to run through these a little more. If anyone has any questions, just please ask. 3 new messages. Let's see. Some people are saying they have the migraines on the right side every day. So I can't see what your actual name is because it has the name Matthew there, but right side, left side, it moves. When I work with people, I will always ask in every round, because we do multiple rounds of pattern clearing with this work. And it's a lot like looking for cues. You know, the sensitivity that starts, like a sommelier can smell a wine and you think he's a magician because he could open that bottle of wine and suddenly he just says, oh, this grape is from the south of France. It was born in 1987. It's been kept at a temperature of XYZ. And you're like, how could you possibly know that? And it's because he's trained. He's trained for so hard and so long, and it starts as a separation process. Okay, so grapes, this is a grape from France. This is a grape from Spain. Okay, I know the difference. Good. This is it's like the color blue. You're an expert in the color blue. You've seen the color blue so many times that you could see different shades of blue and still know it's blue. You're an expert. But someone who's never seen blue before will not know one blue and another blue are both blue because they don't have the training to know that. For you, it's become normal. And that's what this work is. It's subtle cues that if they can't be noticed, the work can't be done. And that's part of the training that we're starting, is so we can teach people this work, because you're not alone. There's over 1 billion people with migraines. 1 in 7 people on the planet have migraines, and over 3 billion, according to the World Health Organization, have a chronic headache condition. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to just check these new messages, and let's see. Is this only to heal acute headaches or to heal them for good so they don't come back? It's both. My goal is to heal them for good. That's what I want to happen. And that's the level of commitment. So when I'll explain to anybody who's you'll know in the first session if it's working. And then what we do is we clear the pattern again and again. It's a cleaning system. We're melting a giant ball of ice. Every time we melt it further and further and further, and it doesn't come back. It knows now it has a new restriction. This pattern wants to be gone because your subconscious wants it out of the system. It just doesn't know how to let it go. The 15-minute consultation, Shauna, consists of me finding out, how long you've had it for, because the longer you've had it, the stronger the pattern. So I'll know what to expect in the first session, because if you tell me you've only had it for a year or two, or for months, and it's new, in the first session, it's going to be gone so fast, you're just going to say, oh, wow, this is amazing, because the pattern's not locked in. If you tell me you've had it for 30 years, you're still going to have dramatic changes. It's just going to be a longer first session, a more in-depth first session. And it just lets me know the pattern of what's going to happen for you based on the roadmap of everybody else that I've seen. So I want to know how long you've had it, if you can remember the time that it first came on, and if you can think of a cause for it. It's not that important, but it's nice to kind of find something to grab onto if it's there. How many days a week you have it, because we have to find the markers in the road, so we can say, okay, you have it 5 days a week. Oh, now it's 3 days a week. Now it's 1 day a week. Wow, now you haven't had it in 10 days. That's kind of amazing. And I like to reach to watch the progress, because you forget easily. When I ask you the questions of where you feel this in your head, and you say, I feel it in the front behind my eyes, it's a 10. I feel it on the side, it's like a 9. The top of my head feels like it's electrocuted. And I take notes. And then after we do a couple rounds, I ask you about how you're feeling, and you say, yeah, not bad. I mean, I feel it in the front, it's about a 3. And I say, is that it? And you say, yeah. And I say, what about the top of your head, the electrocution? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, that's not there anymore. So we have to make notes on this so you can remember what's happening, because it's too easy to forget once the pain isn't there. Neurological ailments. I do not address neurological ailments. I work with the patterns around the body and the body-mind connection. I'm not treating anything. I'm not addressing a specific physical symptom. It just so happens. Well, I'll give you the background. Is I was speaking at a conference on consciousness, and a friend of mine was there, and she had a friend with her, and I could see her friend was really suffering. And so I said, do you want me to help you clear that pattern, that suffering that you're holding? And she said, yes. And so I did. And when I was done, she said, oh, my migraine is gone. And that's when I said, oh, interesting. I didn't realize that pattern was connected to migraines. And that's when I started looking at the patterns around the body and in the body that I never considered. And so that one thing led to the next. And from there, it went to somebody else asking me if I could do this from a distance. And that's how it became done over Zoom. So let's see. The 15-minute consultation is free for everyone. Yeah, you can just book that. And can you demo? I had eye drops a couple days ago, and it hurts behind my eyes. Yeah, I'm not going to do any demos here, but Nahama, message me directly, and let's talk about it, okay? And I think that's all I have here. So if anyone has any questions, oh, there's somebody else here. If anybody else has any questions, welcome to ask. You can unmute yourself if you want to now. And if no questions, then, oh, yes, let me unmute you there. Yes, hello. Hi. Mary, you're unmuted.
Oh, no, I think.
Oh, no, okay. Okay, anyone else? All right, then. So if not, I'm going to say goodnight.
Yeah, can I ask one quick question?
Yes, for sure.
You mentioned that if you don't have the headaches for a long time, let's say less than a year,
Yes,
then it may be easy for you to heal them, take them away.
right.
So then what package would I buy? Why would I want to buy 30 sessions or 10 sessions?
Well, here's what I can tell you. I don't know. We should have the consultation first, so I can tell you, because it's still a pattern. So how long have you had your headaches for?
Well, actually, it's my daughter for about 7 months.
7 months. Yeah, that's pretty short. So, there's something.
Right, and I could tell you how it started.
You can tell me. Yeah, you definitely tell me. Go ahead. If
I believe it started when she had COVID, and it has not left.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So it's hard to say. I believe that there was so much stress during COVID, and whatever, COVID did to people was, very challenging. So I don't, I don't know all the details, but I can tell you 7 months is not a long time to clear a pattern. So I would tell you, the most economical way is to just get 10 sessions, see what happens. And then you can always get more if you want to. But it could be enough. I can't say. I can't say for sure. I just know how much quicker they clear when somebody's had them a shorter time. And what I meant by that is during the first session. There are some people in the first session that take me a full hour to clear that pattern, for the headache to go from a 10 to a 5, 4, 3, 2. Sometimes it only goes to a 2. And I mean, that's still a big difference for someone who's suffering, but I like to see it gone if I can do that in one session. So it's just a lot easier to clear the pattern for someone who's had it a shorter time. I can't say for sure how many sessions it takes for it to stay away. It depends on the person. If they're really sensitive and paying attention to their life, then it clears much faster. Meaning, if they start to say, gosh, when I get really tired, I get a headache, and they decide they want to stay awake late to watch Netflix, they're not listening. So it's going to come back, but they learn. The lesson gets learned, just like we learn not to eat gluten, even though I want to eat gluten. And then, that's part of the healing process too.
Correct. Okay. So in other words, if she's following all her patterns and doing
if she follows the protocols, yes. If she follows the protocols, she'll be very happy. I can't tell you how many sessions it'll take. It could be 45 days. It could be 20 sessions. There's one person I thought she'd be on. She's not tonight. For her, in 4 sessions, I stopped hearing from her for about 14 days. And I thought, oh gosh, I don't know what happened. Finally, that's when she contacted me and said, no, I just haven't had a headache, but I feel it coming back. I thought I was better. And I was like, well, now we have more work to do, because we have to keep, cleaning the water out, like emptying the rowboat until it's empty and we can plug it. Because if we just empty the rowboat enough and then we go about our lives, the pattern's not gone yet.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
So in the chat, there's a link to the consultation. If you scroll up a little bit, it just says book 15-minute consultation. So please, yeah, do that. I'll answer all your questions there as well.
Right, so she should be on the consultation, correct?
For sure, yeah. Let's see. How can I see a difference in pain if in the session I don't have a migraine? For your first session, you should always have a migraine. You can book it in advance, but for the first session, for the money back guarantee, which I want to offer you, you must come with a migraine. Whether it's just getting started or whether it's full blown, either one is okay. If it's just getting started, it's much easier to clear fast. If it's at a 10 already, we're still going to do the work. It just takes a little bit longer, but yeah, that's the only way I need you to have the contrast. I want your conscious and your subconscious mind to both say, oh, wow, this really is something. This works. This is great. And without the migraine, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel clear-headed, but you're not going to really know that your migraine is gone at the end of the session.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Zita. Yes.
Are all the sessions in person or Zoom?
They're all over Zoom.
all over Zoom.
Everyone,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm still trying to get my daughter into the program.
Oh, okay. Well,
She's a tough cookie.
yeah.
And
Well,
she gets migraine
she
very
does.
often.
Tell her just to have the consult with me.
Okay.
You know, join
I
her
will.
for it too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Daisy.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Daisy. I know she's not
Yeah.
there now, but I'm saying hi anyway. Okay. Shauna,
Thank you.
you're welcome, Zita.
Hi.
Yes. Hi there.
Hi. Are you training people to do your work?
In about a month, I'm going to start the training. There is on headachesheal.com/course. I'm having people that are either in the healing space or have family members they'd like to learn this for, or just people that want to save the world. You know, just so you know, you can't do it for yourself. Or if you can, somebody else is going to discover it before me. It's like tickling yourself. You can't put your awareness in two places at once to do this work. But yes, I'll put it in the, oh, I see. It's in the, you can click it in the chat, and it'll take you to the course page. You can just add your email and you'll just get an alert to when we're starting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? And if not, I'm going to, let's see. Elle, you came a little late. Did you have any questions?
Is there going to be a recording of this? I actually
There
was
is.
only sent the link by a friend just a little bit ago, so I didn't realize that it was tonight. Are you going to do another one of these so I could hear the beginning? I'm not
Yeah.
sure what I missed, if there was more of an explanation of how it works.
Yes, there was. I will, yes, you'll get a replay if did you register for this to get the link, or did your friend send you the link?
Yeah. No, I registered as soon as I saw.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you registered, I'll have your email address. Why don't you put your email in the chat, and Matt will copy it, and that way we'll make sure that we send you the replay. I'll be doing it again in a couple of weeks because the hospitals are starting to promote it. So it'll be, you know, another time. It'll be earlier in the day, so that way the people in the UK can be here. And okay, gotcha. Let's see. And is there?
I asked the question before, but then I kind of, hello?
Yes, I'm here. Who am I
Yeah,
talking
sorry.
to?
I asked, yeah, it's Al still.
Okay.
I was curious, I heard you say that you clear migraines like while they are currently acutely. So
Yeah.
you're saying that the long-term work actually completely gets rid of them for good and you don't even start to have them again?
Right. So yes, in the first session, you have to have a migraine. So the pattern is showing itself to me. And so you can feel the difference at the end of the session. Now, as you can imagine, you know, even though I'm a doctor and a chiropractor, this is not doctor work or chiropractic work, but it's work that I learned as doing that. So I'm not making a claim that I'm going to treat your migraine in any way. But what I am doing is addressing the patterns that cause the migraines. And when the patterns clear, the migraines clear. So ultimately, it means the same thing, but wording is so important because, well, just how it is, you know, with you know, any types of health related things. So yes, when the patterns clear, the migraines are gone. If you read the ebook, you know, it's called Headaches Healed, Migraines Goodbye, because when the patterns are gone, there's no place for it to land. There's you know, the migraines, the way they come in to us is due to a tension we're holding in our system. It's a specific tension and vibration in the body and mind. And when we clear that tension and that restriction, suddenly it all releases like a fist. And when that fist releases, suddenly there's just more peace. Hi, Ellie, I see you there. You want to say anything? You're as one of the newbies?
Sure. Sorry about the background noise, 'cause my kids and whatever, Brooklyn's around. But I just wanted to say one thing. I am, you know, fairly new working with you, but I've had migraines for a really, really, really long time. And while I can't say that I'm out of the woods yet, but I can say that I felt a certain shift that I haven't felt with other healing modalities. And that I've also come to realize a lot of certain patterns that I wasn't aware of before. So that's been very helpful for me. And as somebody who does energy work, I really do understand a lot of the things that you're talking about. So that helps me. And I'm very aware of that whole mind-body connection. And I know that the more we're aware of these things and the more that we come into understanding and clarity about the things that are getting in the way of our fulfillment or whatever things that are coming in and constricting us, then the better off we are. Because then we can finally deal with that and move on.
Right.
So that's just the one thing. The other thing is I feel very, very hopeful in my healing ever since we had started working together. And that's not something that I felt for a very long time. And I'm so appreciative of this method, and I'm hoping to actually learn it myself, because why not?
Right. And Yaeli, I think we've worked together maybe 3 times now, or maybe something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And to me, I mean, you're dramatically different already just from day one. Wow.
Oh yeah. You know what? It's so interesting because I don't think I even knew just how bad I had it. And now I'm looking back and I'm thinking, wow, I thought I was a 10. That was like 200.
Yeah, you were something to work
Yes,
with. And boy,
yeah.
what a change though. And yeah, and Yaeli's somebody as you know, that we made time even off duty just because it was so bad that we needed to get the patterns cleared fast. And for somebody who's missing really half of her life because of these migraines, it's an amazing thing to see the change and the smile. And if you saw some of the footage from these, I mean, life was terrible. And now I see a huge smile and I'm just like, you're the same person. This is amazing.
Right. It was interesting for me to see that. And I thought, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
different.
Yes.
It's just been almost 2 weeks, not even maybe
Mhm.
something like that. And yeah, I see a very dramatic shift. And I know I have more work to do just because this has been half of my life. So we're talking about a lot of stuff in that cup, right?
Mhm.
But I feel very hopeful and I'm ready for it.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Yaeli.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we say good night? Okay, then. Well, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. And William@headachesheal.com is my email if you want to reach me directly. That's William@headachesheal.com. And I'll just put that here really quick. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, that's my email right there. Happy to answer them. And terrific. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I hope I get to work with you. Okay. Good night.